May kiambot ako. Samahan ninyo ako sa pagbisita sa San Agustin Church sa Manila. Completed in 1607, it is one of the oldest stone churches in the country. It was also designated as a World Heritage Site by UNESCO. May museum sila na dedicated to the Agustinian history in the Philippines. Marami ring artwork at Spanish-era na architectural elements na makikita rito. Pero nung pumunta ako, naghanap ako ng nicho. I am Mona Magdo Veluz. I hunt down ancestors and chase fascinating stories in Philippine history. Who is the most prominent person buried in the San Agustin Church? I am sure ang sagot ng karamihan ay si Miguel Lopez de Legazpi, a conquistador and the first Spanish Governor-General of the Philippines. In a small mortuary chapel on the left side of the main altar, you can find what looks like a grave with Legazpi's burial effigy. But outside that pocket chapel, you can see this sign written in Spanish, which translates to, "Here lie the mortal remains of Adelantado Legazpi and his grandson Salcedo Labazaris, Padre Pedro de Zúñiga, and other heroes of the conquest. Their remains, having been scattered by the English in 1762, were later gathered together, mixed and indistinguishable, and placed by the Agustinian friars in this chapel." So, when the British troops occupied Manila and desecrated the church, we don't really know who is buried under Legazpi's funeral effigy. Medyo tansya-tansya lang. The San Agustin Crypts are located deep within the church compound. I had to enter through the museum to gain access. Here are some of the famous people resting here in alphabetical order. Teodoro Agoncillo, who died in 1985, was a renowned Filipino historian and author. Antonio de Ayala, who died in 1876, was the co-founder of Casa Rojas, the precursor of the Ayala Corporation. His partner was his father-in-law, Domingo Ureta Rojas. Manuel Earnshaw, who died in 1936, was a representative to the U.S. Congress. His younger brother Tomas became mayor of Manila. Maximo Inocencio y Franco, who died in 1896, was a wealthy architect, landowner, and katipunan financier. He was one of the 13 martyrs of Cavite who died in Bagong Bayan. Juan Luna, who died in 1899, was a world-renowned Filipino artist. He was originally buried in Hong Kong for 20 years before his return home. Maria Orosa, who died in 1945, was a pioneering Filipino food technologist, chemist, and World War II hero. Jacobo Zobel de Sangronis, who died in 1896, was a pharmacist and businessman who is an ancestor of the present-day Zobel de Ayala family. There are so many prominent names in the crypts. Sigurado babalikan natin ito. Old burial places like the San Agustin Crypts remind us that every tombstone is a page, every mausoleum a chapter. Resting grounds are like libraries of memory, where genealogy finds its richest, most enduring sources of truth. O diba?
Meow meow.